Every step you take in this world is being observed. Every breath, every pause, every subtle shift of expression is measured by eyes that calculate. People weigh your tone. They decode your reactions. They memorize your patterns until they can predict your next move. And once they can predict you, they can control you. That is the unspoken truth of human interaction. If others can see too much of your mind, they will march their desires through the open gates of your honesty. You become transparent, and transparency invites conquest. So the first rule is simple. Close the gates. Speak less. Then, when you think you've spoken little, speak even less than that. Let your silence do the work that words can't. The quiet man is not empty. He's unreadable. And unreadable men cannot be manipulated. A wall of silence unsettles people more than a flood of words. When you withhold information, their minds begin to invent possibilities. Doubt, curiosity, suspicion. All of it swirls in the vacuum you create. They start projecting their own thoughts onto your silence, and soon you are not a man anymore. You are a mystery. People respect what they cannot categorize. They grow cautious around what they can't predict. And when you become a question that no one can answer, you gain power. Do not mistake silence for absence. Be present, but withhold your substance. Imagine a locked chest sitting in the middle of a room. It may be empty, but everyone assumes it holds treasure. The tighter the lock, the greater the imagination of its contents. You must become that chest. At work, reveal only your results, not your process. Deliver excellence, but never let anyone see the drafts that built it. Those who live off gossip and early glimpses will squirm under the pressure of your composure. They will wonder if you're falling behind or leagues ahead. And both possibilities will keep them respectful. In friendship, offer warmth sparingly. A genuine smile can go farther than endless confessions. Give people enough to feel your presence, but never enough to map your depths. Let them draw their own portraits of who you might be. Their guesses will often be wrong, but their uncertainty will harden into respect. And respect, when mixed with curiosity, becomes caution. When they think twice before crossing you, you've already won without a word. In rivalry, practice the art of contradiction. Compliment your opponent's trivial strengths while ignoring their true weaknesses. They will hold on to the flattery and miss the quiet calculation behind your calm. When the time comes to act, they won't see the strike coming. Machiavelli warned princes never to reveal the full machinery of their power. A ruler who explains every mechanism of his rule invites sabotage. In our time, your machinery is your reputation. Guard it like a state secret. Information is worth more than gold because it buys compliance. The moment you show your cards, beggars multiply. But when you keep your hand hidden, they fight for your favor, inventing stories about you, each rumor protecting your truth. Mystery doesn't just attract attention, it enslaves it. Charm entertains for a moment. Mystery haunts for a lifetime. A charming host is remembered until dessert ends, but a mysterious guest lingers in the mind long after the music fades. Be that guest. Consider the hunter's blind. Just a simple burlap sheet in the forest. Nothing regal, nothing grand. Yet that small cover rules the entire clearing, because the deer see nothing. Visibility is vulnerability. Even in nature, what's unseen survives longest. The same law governs human power. When questioned, never answer directly. Redirect curiosity with curiosity. When someone asks about your plans, ask them what they fear would happen if you told them. Watch how they reveal their insecurities while you give away nothing. Transparency, for the naive, feels virtuous. But transparency doesn't breed loyalty. It breeds tactics. Show me an open book, and I will write my own story in its margins. Keep your ledger sealed. Even love does not require full disclosure. Intimacy and mystery are not enemies. They are co-conspirators. Share experiences, not entire blueprints. A little ambiguity keeps passion alive. People lose interest in what they fully understand. A door left slightly ajar holds more allure than one thrown open wide. The moment everything about you is accessible, you become ordinary. You must learn to disappear strategically. Step back when the light burns brightest. Vanish when you are most seen. The void you leave behind becomes sacred. People begin to mythologize your absence. They will build stories in the silence, stories that serve you more than any speech ever could. Legends are born from distance, not proximity. Heroes who die young outshine those who linger. You don't need to perish. Just retreat long enough for curiosity to ferment into reverence. Silence is not withdrawal. It is choreography. The conductor knows that pauses make the music thunder. Your presence should work the same way. Measured entrances, deliberate exits. Control the rhythm of when you appear, and your absence will start to command as much attention as your presence. Let your face be a mirror turned outward. People love mirrors because they see themselves reflected back. They'll trust you because you seem familiar. But behind that reflection lies a surface that reveals nothing. If you must share crumbs, never the loaf. Offer stories without the key, memories without context, opinions wrapped in paradox. Let them taste your thoughts, but never consume them. Power is an iceberg, most of it hidden, only a fraction visible above the chatter. Don't mistake friendliness for familiarity. Be kind, but not available. Politeness oils the hinges of social doors, but your keys should stay in your pocket. Predictability is poison. If they can chart your sunrise, change your dawn. If they expect thunder, whisper instead. If they expect silence, surprise them with grace. Strategic unpredictability is not deception. It's camouflage. The tiger's stripes are not lies. They're an agreement between predator and jungle. Write your own camouflage into how you move through life. Crowds crave to know your motives. The moment they think they understand you, they build a cage around you. Nod, smile, and let them think they have you figured out while you keep the key to your freedom in hand. Guard your emotions. People navigate your moods like sailors reading the sea. Give them calm skies, no matter how rough the storm beneath. The art of control is to rage privately and smile publicly. Discipline your tongue. The urge to explain is an enemy disguised as relief. Speak only when your words buy something worth the cost of exposure. If they don't, swallow them. Rumor is a servant that works without pay. Feed it one hint, and it will till fields of speculation on your behalf. Let others plant your myth for you. They will paint constellations from your silence, invent motives from your restraint, and fear from your composure. When you finally choose to reveal something, make sure it's reversible. Never speak a truth that can't be retracted. A locked door that opens both ways protects you from any shift in power. Reward loyalty with secrecy and exile betrayal with precision. A small circle bound by discretion is stronger than an army of chatterers. Disloyalty spreads fast when mercy is soft. Technology now tempts confession. Devices listen. Algorithms remember. Type only what moves your mission forward, and delete the rest before it breathes. True encryption begins in the mind. Patience is your ally. Time is your weapon. Wait long enough, and those seeking to expose you will expose themselves. Be like a candle hidden behind glass. The moths burn themselves trying to reach you. Cultivate layered motives. If one plan is discovered, let them believe they've outsmarted you, while the real one moves beneath the surface. A man who hides one card is clever. A man who hides 10 is untouchable. Act as if every stage has 2 scenes, the visible performance and the invisible command. Perform beautifully on one, rule silently from the other. Let ceremony become a cloak. A bow can distract from a dagger. A smile can cover strategy. The most dangerous men in history were never the loudest. They were the most unreadable. Be polite, attentive, and void. Into that void, others will pour their assumptions until they drown in them. When you speak, let it be last. The first voice becomes a hostage to rebuttal. The last becomes the verdict. Questions cut deeper than declarations. A single question, well placed, opens more vaults than any speech. Accept praise with calm acknowledgement and no elaboration. Those who bask in applause weaken under it. The man who nods and moves on becomes myth. Write nothing you can't afford to see read aloud one day. Keep your private thoughts unwritten, stored only in the vault of your own mind. Certainty breeds boredom. Curiosity breeds devotion. Keep people curious. Promise results, not methods. Announce victories, but never blueprints. Let them think your success was luck. It lowers their guard for the next one. Observe nature. The owl turns its head, but speaks rarely. The fox leaves tracks, but shows no tail. Be both. Move like the horizon, always seen, never reached. Dream empires, but speak in errands. Ambition grows strongest in dim light, where no spotlight burns it out. Praise, when used wisely, is a smoke screen. Compliments cloud judgment faster than insults provoke anger. While their ego swells under your kind words, your next move goes unnoticed. Master the art of partial confession. Reveal a harmless flaw to hide your sharpest edge. The man who pretends to limp directs the assassin's blade away from his throat. If you must protect a secret, create a decoy, something interesting enough to distract from the truth. People love to believe they've uncovered something forbidden. Give them that illusion, and they will stop digging. Cultivate unpredictability as wealth. Predictable people are readable. Readable people are replaceable. Volatility makes others cautious. They will hesitate to strike what they can't foresee. Even your laughter should be rare and measured. Humor invites familiarity, and familiarity erodes mystique. Offer smiles like moonlight, visible, cold, distant. Your reputation will grow faster through rumor than through self-promotion. Every explanation dries out your legend. Water it instead with silence. The greatest powers in history hid behind masks, names, or myths. The strategist who shaped kings through whispers. The merchant who controlled empires from the shadows. The thinker who altered markets with a single pseudonym. Power cloaked in mystery endures longer than power that demands recognition. Even your vices, if disguised correctly, can serve you. A staged weakness can invite underestimation. A controlled indulgence can mask calculation. Speak in motion. Avoid static declarations. Let people know you advance, but never where. Align yourself with principles broad enough to bend. Justice, order, progress. And let others argue definitions while you shape the outcomes. Every public act should cast 3 shadows, one obvious, one deceptive, one invisible. You alone must know which is which. In negotiation, never speak first. The first to name terms loses leverage. Time is your greatest ally. Delay decisions until impatience exposes everyone else's secrets. Post rarely, if at all. When you do, post puzzles. Let algorithms chase phantoms while you move freely. Be deliberately imperfect. Flawless surfaces invite graffiti. A single crack placed by your own hand misleads inspectors. When provoked, remain still. Rage is an open file. Composure is redacted. Before revealing anything, ask yourself, does this strengthen my fog or thin it? If it weakens it, stay silent. Everything in your life should have layers. Even allies should see only their section of your design. Secrecy is not darkness. It's focused light, aimed carefully. It burns through obstacles, but never reveals the source. Let your plans overlap, your motives twist, your signals blur. When you must act publicly, move with the precision of ritual. Rituals hide power behind grace. The man who bows hides his reach. The one who apologizes with poise hides his control. Authority that grows from mystery lasts longer than authority grown from fear. Fear binds with chains. Mystery binds with silk. People obey willingly when they don't quite understand you, because their imagination fills the gaps with reverence. You must become that reverence, visible enough to believe in, distant enough to never touch. And when victory finally crowns you, celebrate quietly. Toast not the conquest, but the horizon beyond it. Let them wonder if your success satisfied you, or merely awakened deeper hunger. Their uncertainty will write your legend for you. In the end, remember this. Secrecy is not cynicism. It's discipline. It's the art of directing attention while concealing motion. Silence is not absence. It's mastery of echo. What you withhold today becomes the myth they chase tomorrow. Reveal nothing. Win everything. Speak rarely. Act precisely. Let the world fill your silence with its imagination, and you will rule it without raising your voice. Power rarely comes from what you show. It comes from what you choose not to. The modern world has trained people to speak without pause, to document their every mood, to confess before even being asked. They mistake exposure for connection. They confuse transparency with trust. But the man who guards his silence lives outside that noise. He belongs to a smaller, older order, the kind that understood that mystery is not a mask. It is armor. When you become too legible, you surrender the greatest form of leverage you will ever own: uncertainty. Those who can't predict you must treat you carefully. Those who think they know you will try to direct you. Learning to reveal nothing is not just about silence. It's about intention. It's about speaking only when a word serves a purpose, when the silence that follows will carry your point further than your volume could. You must learn the discipline of concealment the same way others learn the art of speech. When you speak, every word should function like a move on a chessboard, a question that draws information, a compliment that disguises analysis, a refusal that signals confidence. The rest, all the small talk, all the declarations of emotion, all the defensive explanations, those are losses disguised as participation. The one who masters restraint holds the room without fighting for it. When everyone else rushes to fill the silence, your quiet becomes their mirror. They begin to reveal themselves, trying to fill the gap you've created. Watch how people talk when they're nervous around calm. They confess, they overreach, they overcompensate. You learn more from their reactions than from their answers. The secret listener always wins. Because while others use words to express themselves, you use silence to study them. There will come moments where you will want to correct a lie, to defend your reputation, to set the record straight. Resist. Those who rush to defend themselves often end up proving their accusers right. The wise know that truth does not require panic. The strongest defense is precision in action, not desperation in speech. A clean record of discipline, of composure, of consistent delivery will outlast any rumor. Let time do the work. your words wish they could. Every empire has faced slander. Only fools crumble trying to answer it. To live this way requires patience, but patience is the highest form of strategy. It's the art of moving only when the moment ripens, when speaking becomes the sharpest possible act. Impulsive men drown in their own urgency. Calculated men bend time itself. You must learn to see your restraint as an investment. Every silence plants an invisible seed of power. Every secret kept becomes a quiet advantage. And like a seed beneath soil, its strength accumulates unseen, until one day it breaks through with a force that seems sudden, but was built in shadow. You will notice as you practice this discipline that your relationships will change. Some will grow anxious around your composure. They will try to provoke you, to extract reactions, just to confirm that they still have influence. Don't feed them. Let their frustration speak louder than your defense. Others will begin to treat you differently with a kind of reverent caution, reserved for things not easily understood. They may call you distant, cold, or calculated. Accept it. They are describing what they cannot control. Warmth is still possible, but your warmth must be deliberate, never habitual. When kindness is given sparingly, it carries weight. When it is endless, it becomes invisible. And understand this. Secrecy is not isolation. You can be surrounded by people, laugh with them, work with them, and still remain unreadable. You can connect deeply without ever giving away your coordinates. True intimacy is built on trust, not exposure. You don't owe anyone the full map of your mind. When you learn to separate closeness from confession, you preserve both love and power. Those who love you will learn to respect your privacy. Those who demand to know everything never loved you. They only wanted ownership. A man of secrecy doesn't move in fear. He moves in clarity. He chooses who earns access and when. Most people move like open windows. They let everything in: compliments, criticism, gossip, distraction. You must move like a fortress, selective in your openings, deliberate in your responses. And yet, paradoxically, that fortress will attract curiosity. People will want to peer inside. Let them wonder. The greatest magnet in the world is mystery. People will spend years circling around what they can't see clearly, inventing stories to fill the void. You can use those stories like armor. A rumor, if properly timed, can shield your truth better than any denial. Secrecy, then, is not just concealment. It's creation. Every silence creates an echo, and every echo shapes how people see you. That echo becomes a tool. Speak less, and you'll find that people begin to describe you in ways that benefit you. They will imagine qualities you never claimed: wisdom, depth, confidence, because silence forces them to fill the blanks with respect. Noise only erodes that illusion. The moment you explain yourself, you shrink your myth. But there's another side to this secrecy. Without purpose becomes paranoia. The goal is not to hide from the world, but to shape what the world sees. Reveal only what strengthens the image you've chosen. Every person should have layers: the public self that navigates, the private self that builds, and the hidden self that directs them both. Most people expose all three within minutes of conversation. You will not. You will let the first speak occasionally, protect the second, and guard the third with silence. And if someone manages to read your outer layer, let them believe they've reached the core. That illusion is your defense. It's better to be misunderstood than to be mapped. Those who think they understand you will underestimate you. Those who know they don't will tread carefully. Either way, you remain untouchable. In a world of oversharing, invisibility has become the new luxury. You'll feel this deeply once you've tasted both. To be unseen is to be free. To be constantly visible is to be owned by perception. Visibility invites commentary. Commentary invites distortion. Distortion breeds distraction. And distraction kills, focus the very essence of power. So guard your visibility the way kings guard gold. Appear rarely. And when you do, make sure it means something. Speak in moments that matter. Enter only when it changes the outcome. Leave before the crowd becomes familiar. Absence is your ally. The absence of your presence becomes its own presence. Understand that most battles in this world are not fought with armies, but with information. Information is the currency that builds empires and destroys them. The one who controls what is known controls the direction of action. Never allow others to dictate your narrative by revealing too much of your plan. Keep your goals in fog until they are facts. Announce victories only when they are irreversible. Let your enemies waste resources chasing rumors. Let them aim at shadows. By the time they realize what's real, you'll already be gone. Even in failure, maintain composure. Panic exposes what you value most. A calm man in defeat frightens his rivals more than a loud man in triumph. When things fall apart, speak less, move slower, and let the dust clear. A man who rushes to explain his loss teaches his enemies where to strike next time. A man who falls silent teaches them nothing. Restraint is difficult at first. The mind will itch to fill silence. You'll want to prove your intelligence, to correct misunderstanding, to assert your presence. Resist that hunger. It's the same hunger that enslaves most people, the addiction to being seen. Learn to be comfortable in being misunderstood. Let them guess wrong. Let them write stories that flatter your invisibility. History remembers the quiet strategist more than the loud preacher. And this mastery must extend beyond words. It includes expression, emotion, even body language. Practice stillness in your gestures. Let your reactions slow until every movement feels deliberate. Those who fidget reveal nerves. Those who speak with their hands reveal impatience. Those who stand motionless become immovable symbols. Every ruler, every leader who has ever held a room knew that posture is half of persuasion. The body must become an extension of your silence. Even technology is not exempt from this art. The digital age has made exposure effortless. People document their every move, handing away their privacy for applause. Learn to live opposite of that impulse. Post rarely. Share selectively. Let your digital reflection be as controlled as your speech. Every message you publish should read like a cipher, revealing nothing, except the fact that you are still watching. The world will crave more, and the craving is your leverage. There's a point where this way of living transforms from tactic to temperament. When silence stops feeling like control and starts feeling like peace, you have reached mastery. You will find yourself observing more, feeling more, understanding more. You will see the patterns others miss, hear what goes unsaid, and sense the shifts in rooms before words are spoken. Secrecy refines perception. It heightens awareness because you're no longer blinded by the need to broadcast. You begin to see the world not as noise, but as signal, and you choose which signals to respond to. In the end, the rule remains eternal. Reveal nothing, and you can lose nothing. Win everything, because nothing can be used against you. Power thrives where exposure dies. Control begins where explanation ends. The disciplined silence of a single man can outweigh the chaos of 1,000 voices. When others are shouting to be seen, your quiet becomes the loudest sound in the room. This is not coldness. It is composure. It's not arrogance. It's mastery. You are not retreating from the world. You are commanding it from the shadows. Let them speak. Let them guess. Let them try to interpret. you're calm. Every misinterpretation adds another layer to your myth. And when history remembers you, it will do so with awe, not intimacy. They will say you moved differently, that you saw further, that you understood the value of silence in a world addicted to noise. That is how you conquer everything, not by shouting, not by showing, but by holding, by mastering what you choose to keep hidden. Because the man who reveals nothing holds the one power no one can steal, the power of mystery. And mystery, once built and guarded, rules all who try to explain it.